looking for my second and third graders, you guys, we have something really spectacular this week that's gonna get you so pumped for art. Or at least it made me really excited for art. But when am I not excited for art? Anyways, if you can get to our specials website, you guys are gonna have no problem finding everything you need for this next assignment. Visual arts for second and third graders. The first thing you're gonna see is a video on how people make balloons. Miss Vaughn, why do we need to know how people make balloons? Oh man, I kind of spoiled it. Oh well. This week, we're gonna make balloon animal artworks. So, hold on. I'm not asking you to make a balloon animal, although that would be amazing. But we're gonna create an artwork that features balloon animals. You get to pick the balloon animals, you get to pick the colors and how we make them, and all sorts of things. But in this video right now is part 1, how we're gonna make our awesome creation. On your iPads or computer or a tablet, or maybe your folks can print out the ideation and investigations that we normally have in class. I have lots of inspiration for you guys of different types of balloon animals that have been created all over. Miss Vaughn's real excited. Oh, there's a crab. I think I like the unicorn the best. So you can make 1, 2, or 3 balloon animals for your artworks. Odd numbers are typically the best, but if you make 1 really big one and a couple of small ones, or you make 3 medium-sized ones, anything that you want to create for this assignment is perfectly okay. You at least need 1, and if you're gonna do 1, I would make it bigger rather than smaller. So I'm going to ask you to use your observation eyes and draw very carefully the balloon animal of your choice to the best of your ability, making sure you find all those details that are hiding in the balloons. We're going to see how Miss Vaughn does that. Mrs. Vaughn wants to remind you, draw light until you get it right. That way it makes it super easy for you to erase any mistakes or lines you're not pleased with, so you could try it again later. So here's the outline of my first one. Miss Vaughn had also already drawn a giraffe, and so this one looks like that. So I'm going to stick with 2 balloon animals for my first try. Now, we are both going to be experimenting something brand new I've never done before. And we're going to be using washable markers. My suggestion is Crayola, but if you don't have Crayola markers, I'm sure any other ones will work too. And we're going to turn them into watercolor. And we're going to turn these balloons into something really special. So let's take a look at our pictures before we jump into that step. Notice that there are highlights, some white shiny spots of our balloon. So those are going to be when light reflects off of a surface and your eyes are seeing the brightest part of that light. And because balloons are reflective, there's lots of different highlights on the balloon. It also helps you decide the shape of it to know that it's round and 3-dimensional. So the next step is we're going to go into our drawing and draw with a pencil those highlighted areas that are supposed to stay white. All right, so here is my balloon animal. I've also outlined the highlights. The next step I'm going to do is outline them with some markers. I think I'm going to do purple and green for my unicorn. Kind of like Barney. I like it. All right, so this is my unicorn, completely outlined, and the highlights are there. And I'm going to take an eraser and make sure that the outline of my unicorn does not have any stray pencil marks on there that need to be erased. Remember, I still want those highlighted pencil lines there, so try not to erase those. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you start painting on top of pencil, you're creating this layer to where it's not able to be erased at that point. So I'm trying to get you guys to erase most of your lines first. Now I'm going to go in with just a wet Patty the paintbrush, my medium-sized round brush, and I'm going to go in there and start pulling that purple paint into the unicorn body. So it's going to take some little dabbing motions or some pulling motions to pull that paint into the center. Remember, value is the darkest dark of a color to the lightest light of that same color. It's that gradient scale. So we're going to try to be creating that by continuously adding water to our brush throughout this process. Pay close attention. I'll do my best to make sure you can see me work. Now those highlights are supposed to be white. So let's try our best not to paint over those and leave those the white of the paper. All right, so I'm going to let this unicorn dry. I'm going to set it aside and I'm going to start working on my giraffe. So I need to designate my highlights and outline them and things that I've already done, but I'm just choosing to do a second animal. I'm going to check on my highlights to see where they are in this one. Giraffe. Now I'm going to let my giraffe dry and I'm going to pull out my unicorn back. Now that my unicorn has dried a little bit, we're going to do a little bit more experimenting on our dark shadow area. I'm going to take my purple marker again and I'm going to go back and re-outline my balloon animal on the outside of the outline to make that crisp, not as fuzzy. Do you see the difference between this side and that side? It's a lot more crisp and solid at the edges, which is going to make your balloon really stick out and be bold. Now, I can go in there with color pencils to try to create those darker shadow areas, or I can leave it like this. It's completely up to you. It's your artwork. But know that I'm always looking for ways to improve as an artist. So even Miss Vaughn is experimenting to try to come up with new ways to make hers look more realistic and more like the balloon animal. So on this guy, I'm actually going to try to create those shadows with a color pencil. And I'm just done. Let's take a look back at my zebra, gosh, Miss Vaughn, wrong animal, a giraffe. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to outline my giraffe to make sure that those edges are really bold and crisp with that marker line. All right, here's my giraffe and here is my unicorn. Next time that you guys come and visit, you're going to scroll down on the website and we'll see you for part 2. See you soon.